Howdy y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brad with the Intex RC Crawler. Thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be headed out to Mineral Wells State Park to do some crawling. Going to have my brother Jesse joining us on the channel today for his first time with us, and he's going to be showing up with a brand new build he just finished in an SCX10 Pro. I'm excited to see the build, see what he did with it, and we're going to get it out, give it its first test run, and see how she performs and what kind of tuning and adjustments need to be made. I'm going to take a couple trucks with me, and I'm not sure what else he'll bring with him, and we're going to go out and have a great time on the rocks. We'll talk to Jesse and get him to show us his truck before we hit the rocks and kind of go through the build with us, and then we're going to go have a good time. Y'all stay tuned, enjoy the ride. Thanks for watching. All right guys, as promised, my brother Jesse, he's here on the channel for the first time. He has brought with him his brand new build SCX10 Pro. The body he put on it is a body he just had laying around for now, just because he finished this thing last night and hadn't had time to put a new body on it yet. So it's going to get this cliffhanger body on it that's a little bit used right now for the first run for the maiden voyage. But without further ado, we're going to get to talking to Jesse and get him to show us his build and what he's done with it. All right, Jesse, can you tell us about your build?
Like you were saying, I just grabbed a body that I had and it's pretty beat up. The cliffhanger bodies don't seem to be as good as they were, but it's basically a bone stock SCX10 Pro. The only thing I've done to it is I put my Holmes Hobby revolver on it. It's a 2500 kV along with trying out the new Rhino 80 amp ESC for it. The wiring is just kind of zip tied in place for the time being, just to keep it up out of the way. This is all just for testing today. I have not had it out. I've only driven it across my living room floor so far. But the build went together. The build went well. The only issue that I thought I had was in the transmission. The instructions are not real clear in my opinion. So if you're a first-time builder or you're just new into the hobby, you might end up having quite a few questions over the actual transmission and the diagram. Other than that, it was pretty simple, and actually I think it's pretty well built out of most of the kits that I've built.
Good deal. Any tips or recommendations for the SCX10 builder? Things to look out for, pitfalls?
I would say just pay a lot of attention to the diagram on your transmission, and maybe don't grease it up until you've actually put it together, and make sure everything fits correctly, because some of the gears are real close in size but can easily be swapped from one position to another position. So I would say build it first, put it together first. Don't do what I did. I greased everything thinking I had it right, and then I ended up having to take it apart because I had one thing out of alignment.
Okay, that's a great tip.
It just ended up making a mess.
What were your thoughts on the axles themselves? I know there's been kind of a little bit of buzz about these new axles that were released with this truck. What were your thoughts on the build of those?
I really actually like the axles. They went together real smoothly. I ended up going with the axle mounted servo system on this one versus the CMS. I have no complaints about the axles so far. We'll see if they hold up to my abuse, but other than that, I think the only thing I would like to have seen is something similar to the older AR44s, the 3-piece front axles, where they were grooved and you could really start messing with your camber on them. Or your, well, you know what I'm talking about. I can't
caster?
Caster, yes. Yeah. You start, something about the caster. The caster adjustability on those was a lot better. And these are kind of set in stone in one place.
Okay.
So that's the only thing I would like to have seen for a little more adjustability with these axles, but overall I think they're going to be pretty great.
Great, cool. Well, thanks for showing us your truck, and let's go hit the rocks. All right, guys, we're back here at the shop, done crawling for today. Mineral Well State Park did not disappoint, as always. It's such an amazing place to go crawl. Jesse got to put in some time with the new SCX10 Pro. Ran into a couple little issues with it, trying to get it all worked out on its maiden voyage. You want to talk about that real quick, Jesse?
Yeah, I had a couple of electrical issues. It looks like at the end of the day, it might have just been some batteries I have that were just too old and they were just crapping out. I'm going to look some more into that, make sure, but everything else seems to be functioning great now that I swapped all the electronics over and found a newer battery that I had in my packs.
Great.
So, as far as the truck goes, the kit, the SCX10 Pro kit as it comes is amazing. I started off with the Rhino ESC and the Holmes Hobby 2500 kV revolver. And because of the electrical issues that I was having, I swapped it out with another truck that I had and ended up running the Holmes Hobby Crawlmaster along with the Yellow Jacket, and had no more issues the rest of the day. It worked out great. As far as the truck's performance went, I was thoroughly impressed.
Yeah.
Without any tuning, it's built straight from the instruction book. I think a few adjustments on the links and maybe some shock tuning, this thing will be really, really impressive. To be honest, I wasn't really expecting it to do as well as it did. So.
Yeah, I was super pleased with what I saw of it. It just, I agree. Some suspension adjustments, a little tuning, but I mean, that's to be expected on a maiden voyage of any rock crawler. You start at a point and then start adjusting and moving from there. So, and then another thing I noticed, like we talked about a while ago, Jesse, off camera, was just the tires. These are the Vanquish DTX2s. Both of us found those to be a little soft.
Yeah.
And just not, they were just kind of folding up on him a little bit. And the truck's pretty light. So, you would expect that out of a little heavier truck, but compound, in my opinion, a little too soft. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say for this particular rig, like you mentioned earlier, maybe a 4.5 pound rig at most, and maybe a stiffer foam to accommodate for how soft the tires are in general.
Yeah, super soft compound.
When they found traction, I mean, they found it, but I don't know. For this particular setup, I just kind of prefer the other types of fin riding.
Yeah.
So,
which are? What do you?
I really like the BFT crawlers and Predator compound and the trenchers, the J Concept.
You mean the Tusk?
Tusks.
Yeah.
My bad. The J Concept
That's a great
Tusks. I'm sorry, I'm horrible with names. So, to be honest, out of those tires, comparing these to those, there's just not really a comparison. Especially for the terrain that we have down here in Texas.
Yeah.
So, maybe up in Colorado or Moab or something, I'm sure these things would probably outshine those.
All that sandstone.
On all that sandstone and stuff. But down here with the loose rock and the gravel that we do get on even our granite style places that we go, like Mineral Wells, it's just not the ideal setup, I guess.
Right on. Cool. And of course, the GK01 today never fails to disappoint. Even got the capper out. Some ran it for a little while to start the day just because I haven't run it in a while. It's always a fun truck, set up the full steering and everything. Probably some big things in store for that truck before too long. Probably some conversion going to happen with the old Neon Goat. It's the Capra. And then GK01. This is very likely the last run for it in its current configuration. As impressive as that truck is, I'm a little nervous to do it, but we're going to move over from the GK01 chassis to the GK01 Pro chassis. And get this F350 hard body mounted up. Should be a lot of fun. Can't wait to see this truck finished out in its C2 Sorka rig competition setup. It should be a ton of fun. I can't wait to finish this truck up. It's just been nothing but a pleasure every time. So, now I finally got it dialed in and I'm about to tear it apart. So, who knows? But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for coming out, Jesse, and getting on camera with us and talking about your new build. You guys keep on tiny trucking and enjoy the show, and we'll see you on the next one.